G'day and welcome to episode 10 of the van build. This episode won't include much in the way of van building. As you can see behind me, the workshop is all packed up well, mostly packed up and ready to go. The move happens this coming week, so there hasn't been much time for working on the van, very little in fact. But it doesn't mean I haven't been doing anything. I've been thinking about the electrical system and working on another little project which I'll show you now. The van has this pretty junky reverse camera system. It's got two cameras, one for reverse and one for rear view. Neither of them are particularly good. In fact, the rear view camera is almost useless. So it's not great, and I'd like to have something that works a bit better. A GPS unit, which is just a budget basic GPS unit with maps that are long out of date, and it's really not brilliant. The other thing is the van came with a fairly basic head unit. It does have Bluetooth, but I've never successfully been able to pair my phone to it. It doesn't take any kind of auxiliary input, so you can't connect an iPod or your phone or anything like that to it to get audio through it. So what I am working on is an head unit replacement. So I've got a power amp coming on the way. I've got this 7-inch touchscreen here, which is a little bit smaller than double DIN size. So that's double DIN size is the stereo and the blanking plate above it. You can see the 7-inch touchscreen is just a little bit smaller than that. So the plan is to remove the stereo and the blanking plate and print a bezel to marry the 7-inch touchscreen into the dash nicely. On the back of the 7-inch touchscreen you can see there's a Raspberry Pi, and that's going to run Open Auto Pro, which will give me reverse camera. So I'll be able to use a Raspberry Pi wide angle lens camera on the back. It will give me Bluetooth audio connection for hands-free phone calling. It will give me GPS. It will give me the ability to play audio from a phone or from a USB. So let me take you inside and show you what I've got working on that so far. Here we are on the bench. Got the screen connected up. There's a camera connected, USB port, USB hub, and a USB microphone and speaker adapter, and a Bluetooth adapter tucked away in the back there. So let me just quickly fire it up and show you what it does. This is an incomplete system at this point. I'm still waiting on some parts. The USB Bluetooth adapter I have doesn't support hands-free protocol, so I'm waiting for another one to arrive that does support hands-free protocol and works with Raspbian. The tricky part is finding one that does both of those things. So when the unit boots straight into Android Auto or Open Auto Pro, and you can see that it's picked up the Bluetooth connection to my phone there straight away. It's quite configurable. Okay, so you can see here it's booted into the main Open Auto window. I can go into Android Auto. It gives me maps. Now at the moment I don't have voice control working on this because I'm still waiting on the Bluetooth dongle that will make the hands-free protocol work so that I can give voice commands to Google to give me directions to places. But say I ask for directions to Bunnings, and it will do that. Go full screen on that. So a much better GPS than the one that is currently in the van. You can go straight into calls from within the screen. You can find people to call, look at your recent numbers, all that sort of thing, contacts. Go back out of here to the main menu. You've got access into phone calls from in there as well. You've got the reversing camera. You can trigger this via GPIO pins or whatever so that it will automatically come on when you put the vehicle into reverse. You can also configure it to have guidelines. So come into the settings. Lots of things you can change in here. So for the reversing camera, you can also rotate the camera. So if you've got the camera rotated, you can sort that out. So now we've rotated the camera around the other way. So now you can see the wheels upside down. So there's lots of customizations you can do on appearance and wallpaper and opacity and all that sort of thing. Day and night mode. You can switch between. And so if I switch this to manual, so you can have it set to switch between day and night mode based on a sensor, the clock, a GPIO pin, or just a manual. So I've currently just had it set to clock. You could trigger off your headlights, for example. Set up your wallpapers. You can also get it to play music. So I've got a USB sitting there with some music on it. And does album art, obviously. So quite a good system. It's not foolproof. You know, there are some things that it doesn't do or doesn't do especially well, but pretty good replacement for what's currently in the van to get functionality. I've got camera extenders coming so that I can use an HDMI cable to get a signal from the camera from the rear of the vehicle up to the front. I've got the USB dongle coming that I mentioned and the amplifier coming that I mentioned. To power it, I've got this DC to DC buck converter. Takes 12 volt from the vehicle in, puts out 5 volt at 5 amps, which is what's required by the system to power the Raspberry Pi and the panel. I'm looking forward to being able to get that installed. That'll be in a little while, but the other thing that been working on is the planning for the electrical system. So let me show you what I'm doing there. So I've been working on planning my electrical system and decided I needed to put a diagram together so I could get my head around it. So starting over on the left hand side here, you can see we've got our supply things. So our solar panel array, 2 sets of 2 panels wired in series, and those 2 sets wired in parallel with each other. So each series set is fused through a Y combiner isolation switch through the charge controller and then on into the batteries. We've got the vehicle battery through a DC to DC charger and on into the batteries. And then we've got the inverter charger, which when plugged into shore power will also be able to charge the batteries. While we're over this side, the inverter charger will also go through circuit breakers to power the induction cooktop, the microwave, air conditioner, and GPOs, general purpose power outlets, in the vehicle. So moving over towards the other side here, we've got a bank of 5 100 amp hour batteries, so 500 amp hours of lithium should be plenty for our needs, even running a 3000 watt inverter. We've got our positive and negative bus bars, so connections all through those bus bars. Big heavy cable for the inverter and the battery connections through the bus bars. Then we've got our fuse block, and off the fuse block we've got various different components hanging. So we've got internet, still not quite decided on exactly what that's going to be yet. Could be Starlink, may not be. We've got the Energy One, which is the monitoring system, but also smart switches. So we'll probably, this isn't decided yet either, but we'll probably use that for lights in the main living area of the van, so you can control them from the switch or from the Energy DC Home app. And then additionally, we've got the lights in the garage, the reading lights in the bedroom, the bathroom light vent. Those will all be fused through the fuse block. We've got the controller for the heating system. So the heating system will be a diesel hydronic heater, which heats both water and air. So it'll have a fan head on it that can be the space heater, but it will also heat the water for both the kitchen and the recirculating shower. We've got the shower and kitchen water pumps there, the fridge, Sirocco fan, the Max Air fans. It's all the major components. Part of the reason for doing this is to help me figure out whether I've missed any, make sure I'm going to have enough fusing, make sure I can order enough cable and lugs and all those kind of things that I'm going to need when it gets to the point where I start on actually installing all of this gear. So there's the electrical system as it's planned at this point. There may yet be some modifications to be made to that. Hopefully that's interesting to you. If you're interested in the Open Auto Pro installation, I've dropped some links in the description down below that you can check out, videos that I found quite helpful when I was looking into it and figuring out how I was going to go about it. That's it for this video. So please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and join me next time when we get back to the build. Thanks for watching. See ya.